Have you ever encountered an elf? So, this happened to me when I was 10, but I was so shocked, I remember it vividly. My parents go to the farmer's market weekly. This time they brought me along. So this farmer's market was held on a big parking lot, and on the ground, here and there were some sorts of metal gratings, and you could see the sewers. I don't know if you can picture it, but I could try finding a pic. Anyway, I was always scared of walking on them as a kid, because I thought I would fall in. But that day the market was full, not a lot of space to go around, and I had to walk over one of them. As I did, I looked down and there was somebody down there looking back. He was small, he had pointy ears, but it's his eyes that I can't forget. They were golden and so shiny. I looked at him, he looked at me for what seemed to be an eternity. I was so shocked that I just kept on walking. When we went back to the car, I told my parents, I told everyone, but nobody would believe me. To this day, nobody does. It has even become a running joke amongst my friends. So I stopped talking about it altogether. It's the first time I've told this story in a decade. Trust me, reading it as an adult I know how crazy, corny and ridiculous it sounds, but I know it happened. Has anybody ever had anything like that happen to them? Another thing, I don't know if it's important, but his stare was chilling. I knew that he wasn't good. I wrote this on another experience, but when our family lived in Oklahoma, about 7 years ago, my kids used to tell me that an itty-bitty man lived in our house. They said he liked to take things and hide them, but that he was nice, for the most part. We even built him a fairy house under my daughter's insistence that he might want to sleep and play in it sometimes. They even said his name was Thaddeus. I never saw him, but my kids swore on him living in the walls. I never really thought he was either real or a figment of their imaginations, because Lord knows there's tons of things out there that can't be explained. I talked to my dad last week about gnomes and elves. He told me he saw a gnome couple once. It was a while back, when he was a teenager living in Mexico. He had always heard rumors of two gnomes that lived near some ranches. One foggy night, he was driving by those ranches, and he says he saw them. Says they were just standing on the side of the road staring at him. They were also wearing pointy hats, and the male gnome was wearing overalls. He felt real creeped out. My dad, now looking back at it, thinks they were just a really short dwarf couple, but still feels creeped out about it. I don't share this experience much, because it's kinda hard to believe. But one night about 15 years ago, I was living with my ex-boyfriend at the time. I usually went to bed before him, because I had to work at 6:30 a.m., and he'd stay up and listen to music and mess around on the computer. I slept with the bedroom door open. And the main bathroom was right outside the bedroom door. Anyway, he apparently goes to use the bathroom, said he turned on the hall light, and happens to glance in the bedroom to see if I was asleep. As he walked into the bathroom, he said he saw something sitting on top of me. He backed up, looked again, told me there was a little elf or gnome sitting on me, punching me in the face. He said he ran over, punched it. It looked at him, growled at him as it kept punching me. He said it was throwing rapid punches, like really fast. He said he yelled at it, and kicked it off me, and it was gone. My BF shook me awake, asking me if I was okay. He was shook up himself. I said yes. Why? What's happening? Then he told me what happened. He was freaking out. I told him he was seeing things. He said no bullshit. I know what I saw. It was sitting on you, punching you in the face. It growled at me, and went away after I kicked it off you. Creeps me out now, when I think about it. As far as I know, something like this never happened again, but I don't know. I had and have no reason not to believe him. Have had other experiences of sorts, but since we're on elves, I shared this one. I have, you're not crazy. I didn't see a face, but about 30 years ago I was coming out of the state park across the street from my house. It was in the winter, so no one else was around. I was driving very slow, and happened to look in my rearview mirror to see a very small elf, jumping up and down, looking at back of my car, and clearly pointing to the woods next to the road. I still walk that road every single day, and yes, there is a small trail that leads down the hill and into the woods at that exact spot I saw it. The trail was made by deer and small animals, but I believe what I saw.